What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at the best strikers throughout FC24 and we have got a big list, so strap in. We are starting with the lower tier to start with, and in terms of kind of 0 to I think about 100 give or take, there isn't necessarily a great deal of absolutely full meta, which is to be understanding. I think strikers in this FIFA, and in many to be honest, have been very expensive from the get-go. If you want a good striker, you're going to have to pay the money for it. When it comes to goalkeepers, fullbacks, even sometimes centre-backs, there is normally at least a couple of really cheap options. I don't think they have that in strikers. The one that can be kind of justified for that is the Beats Haaland. Yes, I don't necessarily think he's absolute end tier or if he's going to last until team of the season, but as a free card, he definitely wasn't a bad one whatsoever for just playing the game. I think before January, I want to say it was. That most definitely is quite a nice card to have got. We then have two golds. Messi's one that I actually didn't include in my under 100k, which to be honest is probably because I didn't even see him with the gold. I forgot that obviously he is going to be relatively cheap, and in terms of under 100k, he's always going to have that dribbling ability. It's the one thing with Messi and Ronaldo. Yes, the stats make a massive difference, but even so, being a 90 is a lot better than CR7, but he still has that body type. EA have still given him the means to do well, hence why when he becomes a 97, a 99, it's going to be the same Messi. Same as Ronaldo, it's going to be exactly the same. Smith, most definitely, regardless of no playstyle plus or not, great pace, great dribbling, great shooting, 4-star, 5-star. As a very starter basic striker, you physically cannot go wrong. I'm a big fan of Barnes, 89 rated, very cheap in terms of his icon, 63,000, which is about the same price normally as a kind of a complete discard icon, especially the base. Van Persie, very similar. The one thing I'm looking for him is going to be evolutions. It seems to be the way that they're going to kind of revamp the lower rated icons. We've already seen a couple of icon defenders, but nothing that's really taken a massive fancy as of yet. But Van Persie has managed to have one. We do have Cunha from the the Team of the Week yesterday. Actually surprisingly really decent. For 70,000 coins, he most definitely was very statted across the board when it comes to attacking, and he did the business. So I'm very, very happy with this card already. And then we put Malin. Even though surprisingly Malin's actually really good on the right wing, he still can play striker, and I definitely think you add a chem star for that shooting bonus, he most definitely will give you a little run for your money. And there is an evolution that you could do to make him 89. That might have gone by now, but it does show where this card can go.
If your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast, and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders.
And as we progress up, the price is going to be pretty excelled quickly. We have two SBCs, one that it's just incredible value. The other one is pretty much the same rating in terms of most stats. He may have had an extra pace and extra shooting, changed his playstyle plus from rapid to quick stat, which is a little bit annoying, but it is nice to see the double SBCs that you can get. And Aubameyang was definitely one to get in that radioactive, but at the minimum, you can get yourself a player of the month right now, which is always nice, as he is one of them strikers that just has that body type that works. We then have Voler, one that is desperate for an upgrade. We've had a couple of hero evolutions as well, but it's just so needed. And the fact that we've got future star icons coming, I don't know when heroes are even going to get chance at this point. It's going to be either I'm assuming Future Stars is going to be 2 weeks, so it's going to be another 2 weeks after that, which it's just going to be nuts to try and find one. But Voler needs that upgrade now. I feel like he's reached the max potential of what he can actually do, and that is it. There's no more from him. We need a double playstyle plus, we need a 4-star skiller with him, and hopefully that should revitalize him a little bit. Harry Kane with the double, always going to like it. He is cheaper than pretty much most of his versions actually, which is scary in itself. So he starts at 90, he's got himself a 91, 92 in form, 92 Trailblazer, then he got a 93 team of the group stage. This one is coming in at 122,000. I think his inform is coming in at 125, which is just crazy. 108 for his 91, yet this one has the double playstyle plus, the same stats as his 93. I think it's a big dub if you are a Harry Kane fan. Alex Morgan, I actually really liked her, especially if you do link her with the American Smith. If you go Rodman, Swanson, as a very basic starter team, it most definitely is not a bad attack that you can get going. She does have the finesse shot inside the box, which is always perfect. A 4-star, 5-star, great finishing, great dribbling. You just need the Hunter for a little bit more pace. And like with Van Persie, Raul and Stoichkov, very similar, even though Stoichkov did have an SBC. I want to say he's coming in now. I want to say about 300,000, give or take. So if you've done the SBC, naturally as we progress through the game, they're going to drop down. But again, another one that potentially could have an evolutions later on down the line if we do get them for the higher rateds as well. It's going to be an interesting one to see who actually gets one from the base, or do they just go with the winter wildcard? I think Stoichkov has a winter wildcard as well. Pretty sure, yeah, 90 rated. So they only went one up with him, but he is another cam. So it'll be interesting to see, do they continue with them evolutions for the lower, or do they just then focus on the high rated? So an evolution for a Smith, or do they go for the winter wildcard Stoichkov instead? Will be interesting to see. Smith, on the other hand, still a phenomenal striker. Definitely on the cheaper end, which is nice. And to be honest, I think you could argue between her normal version and this version, which one you want to go for. I think in terms of price difference, I don't think there's a great deal in stats, so you might as well. She didn't unfortunately get the... Oh no, she didn't even need the upgrade. She's just a 1 upgrade anyway, and you've got 117 for the 89 or 325 for this one. Both have dead ball, both 4-star, 4-star. I don't see the massive difference you're going to get there. Then we have Lewandowski, another one like Kane. He is a little bit more expensive, but I can see him dropping as we kind of go through with it. Pedro, again, actually kept a price pretty high. He was about 500, 600 when he got to that 89, but now I do think we do need an upgrade for him. He's kind of there now just purely on there isn't a great supply of him anymore. A lot of people would have just put him in an SBC because I can imagine, like most, I don't think anybody realised he was going to get to the 89 at some point. And Sammy Kerr, always liked her as a radioactive. Great links to herself. Obviously a good links to any of the Prem women. Chelsea players as well if you wanted. But then also with that Rapid Plus is a phenomenal chemistry play style plus to be able to have to then link with a Hunter. And this is where we start to get into strikers that, to be honest, you could definitely get away with a lot more. I feel like the bottom end is just a starter to really get yourself into them coins. And to be honest, when it comes to from like now until like the next few, it is predominantly icon picks, being lucky in packs. No one's buying these outright with coins because you're not going to buy a Dalglish for 400 to potentially lose. Same with Ronaldo at 400. It just isn't going to happen. But these are the strikers where I'm like, okay, I could get away with 2 of these easily in any division, especially if you are at least semi-decent at the game. We have Dalglish and Butra. I think in terms of icons, they are normally the classics. Great finishing, good pace. Obviously, both of them with the 5-star weak foot. We do have Dalglish with a 4 skills, which is nice. And Butra does have a left wing. Then Dalglish does have a thunderstruck. But they are starting to progress away from these bases. But I still wouldn't be upset. If it was between getting a Dalglish or a Lineker or an Owen, I'm definitely going with a Dalglish. When it comes to the players, Martinez for me, even though I do think the road to the final has been a disastrous. Like, it's been absolutely rubbish. From Team of the Year to this, it feels like the biggest drop-off we have seen in FIFA history. It's probably an overreaction. But in terms of the SBCs, for Kimmich and Martinez, even throwing in Coates, I don't think they've gone too bad with the price. You are waiting a long time for the upgrade, but say Martinez, for whatever reason, doesn't get another upgrade, doesn't get a Team of the Season, doesn't get a knockout team of the man of the match for the UCL, or doesn't get any informs or anything. This is going to be your best shot of an SBC, and it's kind of how you got to look at them, especially when they are upgradable. You potentially are paying for a 94 later on down the line. Is it going to happen? That is totally down for you to decide, but I do think price and wise a little bit better. Kolo Muani, absolutely love him as a striker. I think he is the real deal. Tall, absolutely crazy with pace. I'm surprised he hasn't got more physicality. It is one thing that always shocks me when I look at a card like this, with him being, what is he, 6'2". I just can't believe that he hasn't got in the 86 and above strength. And it is mainly because aggression is 40, so it is dropping it down massively. But I think in terms of it, 82 strength on a 6'2" striker, I feel like that is a little bit of a flaw, but he definitely doesn't feel like that in game. Di Natale, very much like Valer, but I think Di Natale's on a better level. Always liked him no matter what. In terms of a striker, he works. He's got pace, he's got the shooting, the dribbling's there. It is just an upgrade that we want for him. Maybe even a 5-star weak foot, 5-star skill. Double play style plus now has always got to be on the mention. But I think in terms of a striker, you could still get away with him now. Serie A strikers are very hard to come by of the top variety, like the absolute pinnacle. Are they going against an Mbappe? Are they going against a Ginola, an Aguero back in the day? Di Natale is always been at that number one list. Even with Osimhen, Martinez, Lukaku, Di Natale is still absolute top. Felix, on the other hand, always liked his body build. He is more of a winger in my opinion. I like him more as that supporting role. As just a front striker, I always find that he can never do it solo. I just don't think he has that ability. But when it comes to going with a pairing, you have to go for like a Kolo Muani, somebody who's going to have the ball and somebody who's going to lay him off. But in terms of body type, very good. I just like to push him more into the wing. And you could say the same for Diane, but to be honest, doesn't matter where you put her. You can put her in striker and she will absolutely boss it. The only good thing now with a right wing from the Team of the Year honourable is the fact that she does have that whipped pass. That's going to be essential for the cutting, but then also for the crossing if needed. So she does have that double threat now. One of my more favoured cards going up top as well. Greasy, definitely a decent card. The one thing with Griezmann is that left stick. Pace-wise is good, shooting's very good, dribbling-wise is what really kind of glues me to this card. And it's what always is, with Griezmann, he normally has kind of like, well, this year he's actually done really well, getting that 88 base, I think it is, and then he's just managed to progress. But normally what we found is an 83, 84, 85 Griezmann, you get an inform, it's okay, get another inform, it's okay. Then you get the team of the season, the 94, 95, and he turns into a monster. It feels like we've kind of stepped forward a little bit, having that base such a higher rated than what it was. It's just a brilliant card. I'm just now waiting for the next step for him as well. I think this is his highest card. It's got 289, well, 389s, Player of the Month, Trailblazer, and Inform. But this version for me definitely stands out in terms of the highest rated. Alex Morgan, very much like the 90. You've got to ask yourself, is she worth the extra 500,000 coins to go from the 90 to the 92? For me, I'm going to say no, but that doesn't neglect that she is a very good striker. If the normal winter wildcard is, it's got to mean this one is as well. Regardless of the price, that is the thing that you've got to look at. In terms of the card, she is a very good striker. Same as CR7, I did forget to put winter wildcard up there a little bit, so he has jumped up in price a little bit. But it's a good comparison between the two. I think with Ronaldo, even from the Trailblazer, you knew that he was going to be mentioned in the game a lot. We got the Trailblazer literally like week 2, week 3. We've now got the Winter Wildcard. We've got a Team of the Year. Ronaldo's going to be 99 by the end of the year, easily. The Winter Wildcard is definitely a fan favourite, but 2.7 is a bit of a price jump from the 400. And I think if you want a Ronaldo, this one can still do definitely. He will do everything that you need as a Ronaldo card. It is just more the power shot, 5-star, 4-stars the same, which is fair enough, and then a bit more pace, bit more shooting that's just going to be added to that extra couple of stats. What's scary with this list is there's still 2 more full teams available, and yet we're already at the base rating of 870 and then at the highs 1.2. There is a lot of top-end strikers, but also expensive strikers this year. When you look at a few of these, I don't think they are over a couple of million. Like you've got a few, like you got Benzema at 700. I think that's a fantastic card. Big Benz has always been great, like Griezmann, in a team of the season, in the higher rateds. I think they've done really well with this radioactive promo, purely to get people on links. Benzema's a bit more of like a Conte, a subject that doesn't need it, because we have a lot of French players. And to be honest, we've got a lot of icons in the team as well. With the amount of different icon campaigns, hero campaigns that we've had, we don't really need that many chemistry links, because I think I've got Maldini, I've got Zidane, I've got Eto'o and Garrincha and Best. So I've got like 5 to 6 icons that I can put in, and Carfu right back. So really, I never need any sort of chemistry links. And I can imagine a lot of people are very similar, but even to start with the radioactive promo coming out when it did, I don't think I had excess of 5-6 icons. I probably had 2 or 3, so it is still a very viable card going forward. Tevez is a bit of a sore point because I do think Martinez has thrown shade over the SBC. It never takes away the striker for me because I do think Tevez is definitely going to be one of them top-end strikers by the end. And I think this version is still very good. I just think when it comes to the price, it might be a little bit too expensive. And that just purely comes down to supply and demand. We've got him at 1.2. SBC's coming in at 1.34. I'm not a big fan of the SBC price, especially when we have another Argentinian striker in SBCs the day before. So it's an argument between who you go for. When it comes to the other icons, we've obviously got Torres at 870. He's definitely better this year. I felt pace was really good with him. The shooting's always been phenomenal. But I always found that he just lacked that drive to get forward. It just didn't work out for him in previous editions of FIFA. Whereas this version, I've loved his base. I've loved the Winter Wildcard. Same with Eto. I think he's a classic going into the game. He's got everything you need. A little bit of physicality. Dribbling's there. Shooting's there. Pace is there. 4-star, 4-star. Quick step. Very, very good striker that hopefully as well will get an upgrade at some point because we're still running on the base. Raul, great upgrade for him. 1 million coins for him though. It's an interesting card this year because I do think normally with Raul, he's left to the side pretty much day one. You don't really hear too much about him. The finesse shot pluses definitely added some extra bonuses. Dribbling's always been very good, same as shooting with him. But then we've got Zola at 899, the first double icon player plus. Let me start that again. The double play style plus team of the year icon is here with the cheapest attacking option you can go with. Finesse and Deadpool, it could be worse. Definitely could be worse. I always liked Zola as a player. Him and Del P have always kind of been bouncing off each other, depending on who had the better card at what time. But I do think Zola at the minute is clinching it. Henry is an SBC. I think he's really good this year. I think there's a lot of people that definitely agree with that. The rapid playstyle plus works in his favour. I've seen a lot of people say he's quite clunky. I never really saw that too much with him. We've kind of used him a handful of times now, and he's always been on the ball with it. Pace is brilliant, dribbling's good, shooting's fantastic. I've never really had that clunky problem going in. Yes, he may not be the most left stick dribbling player compared to Zola, but he definitely gets the job done. So in terms of SBC, if you've not already got your kind of your strikers in set with an Mbappe, Eusebio, anybody from Team of the Year, then I'd say Henry definitely could make his mark there. Then we have Drogba. Love the card. Don't know if I'd pay $1 million for him. I think he's a very good striker, but price-wise would put me off a little bit. I think pace-wise, definitely got it right. They've mixed between the fact that he's got incredible body strength, great pace, and shooting. It just works. I think if you was to link him with someone like a Felix, that could be a double threat that you'd really want. Then we have Ginola. I'm surprised he's still 1.2, to be honest. It either tells you the state of the market or how good this card is. A 5-star, 5-star that can go striker. Not a big fan of left wing with him. I think he's straight down the middle and he gets everything for you. Very much like Gerd Muller. Little bit expensive for what he is, but I do think at the moment he is the best version of Muller you can get, and he absolutely owns it. Now this is where we get a little bit interesting. So we do have Nunez here. One of the ones, like I haven't included Lukaku because I think for me the price is just ridiculous. At least with Nunez, even though yes, by the end of it he's only going to get the double play star plus, but he is a good card. If you cast your mind back to the Colomuani gold, the Nunez gold that was mainly for the foundations, he's got a great body type. He works in this game. He's got that height at 6'2", pace is there, physicality's definitely there. All you really need from this card is just that tad bit more dribbling. You get a bit more shooting with a rating, but as an 88 rated card, that is a card that I'm well worth putting a bit of kind of investment on the line for him. 1.4 is expensive, and especially when you can get the likes of Mbappe for 400k more. I'm never going to argue that I don't believe Nunez, I don't think Salah, I don't think Messi is as good as the gold Mbappe. You could argue even Jesus, Rashford, Son, even Eusebio to some extent isn't as good as gold Mbappe. There's always going to be them arguments. Same with the team of the years for Pop and Kerr. Mbappe is a cheat code in the game. You have two certainties in any FIFA at this point of the game. Mbappe gold is going to last you the rest of the year, and so is Virgil. Them two are just the best for price gold cards you can physically get. Yes, with Virgil, you are not once you get him at the low price, he's not going to go down anymore. Mbappe could. Like, I imagine he's definitely on a decline, but he is worth every penny. If you could tell me that you'd give me 4 million coins at the start of the game, but I've got to keep gold Mbappe in and I've got to buy him with them coins, you do it hands down. He starts the game at 3.1. He's then took all that time to reach 1.8, and he's technically on a little bit of a rebound as well. But in terms of Mbappe, he's clear of everything. Gold, inform, player of the month, team of the group stage, team of the year, whatever version, he is the monster in this game. After all of that bumlicking, we've got Eusebio, Dalglish, we have obviously Son, Rashford, Jesus, Pop and Kerr. Son, I'm a big fan of the wing. To some extent, same as Rashford. I think Rashford's really let down by that freestyle weak foot. As a striker, winger, you can get away with it. I feel like you could put him on the wing and you just don't have to use that weak foot. As a striker, depending on where they're going is going to dictate where you're going. If I'm always being pushed onto his left foot, it's not going to be a great time that I've got to try and find that right foot again, because a freestyle weak foot is just not it at this point still. Jesus, another one that 2.4, you could argue, well, I don't think you can argue, it's damn right too expensive. 2.4 for a Jesus, he's a good card, don't get me wrong. Double play style plus, which first touch relentless, it is what it is, but 2.4 is very expensive for a team that are not likely to get to the final. They could, they most definitely could, but are they realistically in the running to get to the final and win it? That is going to be a big feat. If they do, everyone will be laughing because that card will be amazing. But I'm kind of expecting him to get another version, or at least an upgraded version, before that card gets there. Dalglish was a great SBC, 1.9, very much like an Mbappe. If you did him, you did him. If not, you're kind of just having to go for somebody else, really. In terms of SBC, they seem to be doing a lot of endgame sort of strikers that don't end up being endgame. And that's purely down to double play style pluses, medium upgrades into, say, like a 92, 93. But when it comes to an SBC like that, Mbappe's always the one to do. I'd say Eusebio would have been. Dalglish was the potluck because obviously he needed the upgrade to really make that card worth it. Sammy Kerr and Pop, definitely the two lower team of the year prices, but by no means are they anywhere near a bottom tier. They are still phenomenal. The rapid plus, the finesse shot aerial, they have different sets of skills and they absolutely work it. And then I thought we might as well put all these players in one list, because I feel like you could pick any 1, 2, 3 or 4 of these and they will be the best attackers you physically put into the game. You have got Pushkas at 2.6, multiple Cruyffs 2.8 and also 6.4. Wow. You have our first team of the year, Smith. Love her. Even a gold trailblazer, any version of her is fantastic in this game. But the team of the year is always going to have that special part in everybody's team. We have a Vinny. I must admit, I do like Vinny on the wing if possible. But even as a striker, I think if you said this could only... this card could only play striker, then I'd still do it, because he is brilliant in the game. The only thing he's missing, which I think is a bit of a shame, because they didn't upgrade him from his 92, is give him the 5-5. Double play style plus, you've given him Trickster, gotta give him a 5-star weak foot as well. Henry, 3 million coins, Thunderstruck, Rapid plus, everything's going to be nice for him. He has got a double upgrade from his previous version, which is nice, and I think it's what really makes these Thunderstrucks. If they didn't get the upgrade, you might as well just go with a base. You're going to get an overinflated card. Maybe he drops a little bit. If he doesn't get that 93 and ends up being 92, he might be closer in price to that base. But even then, when it's 400, 500, 800k more, I'd still rather go for the base rather than have the dynamic. We have Ginola at 3.2, just an upgrade from his hero. To be honest, you could argue with Ginola because there's no double plus, there's no change in playstyle plus, there's no skill move or weak foot. It is just a solid upgrade and that's it. I'd probably go with the base hero. Now, one that did surprise me is Pele. 3.4 still in the base is crazy. I thought he dropped down so much more than that. Apparently not, and we know what Pele's like. And it's the same with the rest of them. You've got Eusebio, who now, I believe... Oh, no, he might still be in an SBC. But has he? He is still there till the 15th. So there is another, 7 days to go. So you've either got to get him done really quick or missing out on him right now, which, to be honest, I don't think is the be-all and end-all, because by the looks of it, they are just ramping this up and up and up. There's going to be a lot of SBCs of strikers of this sort of caliber. It definitely doesn't look like a mistake, or they've just given out the wrong card at the wrong point. They are going absolute in on SBCs. And then we move to the final. We have Ham, obviously R9. We've got 7.7 and she's 3.9. But then when we look at this, we have the multiple Mbappes. We've got literally 15 mil. Pretty sure extinct at 15 mil. You've got Ham at 11 mil. To be honest, Ham looks the most impressive. Rapid plus and power shot is a combination. Love the quick steps on obviously Ronaldo and Mbappe. But the aerial and Travella, now we know Travella's gone, is a little bit annoying at times. Haaland, power shot and aerial, it's pretty standard for him, but the stat upgrade is lovely. We then obviously have our team of the year, Messi. There is one card that I forgot that I'll add into at the end, but Messi, I don't think many people want to talk about Messi, to be honest. After that absolute shambles of an SBC, I see him all the time, and it is frustrating as ever because he is so good. And then when we look at the icons, you've obviously got Cruyff, you've got a 5.7 Pele. Hullet can go anywhere in the attack. He can go anywhere in the midfield, in the attack. It literally doesn't matter for him. He is an absolute GOAT in this game. Then we obviously have our Neymar, 4.9 mil for the fire. He again is still going to be brilliant. Arguing that you'd rather have him on the wing, but even then, as a striker, he's still going to give you exactly the same results. And then the final one on the list, totally forgot about him. He must have just escaped that price, but Ronaldo. 5-star, 4-star. Surprised they didn't give him a 96. I wasn't expecting him to be 97, but they've obviously given him room to breathe. We know that we're going to get a 99 before the end of the game, and just look at them stats. It is a Ronaldo to definitely be proud of. He is very expensive though. Chemistry star-wise, people are looking at the engine, which is going to give him 95, 93, and 97 striker on the base already. He's just perfect. He's going to be one of the best strikers you can physically get, alongside the R9s, the Hams, the Mbappes, the Messis. They are just absolutely top of the top.